Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Stephanie Miller Show.
Yes, it is. It's Voice DD Jim Ward Day. Hooray!
Hooray!
And hour number 3, Maximum Mookage and Charlie Pierce. What's not great about that?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. The RNC has a giant squirrel. Now Hillary is done. Done.
I don't get that.
Get to that in a minute. Wow. This is a party that is full of just really great ideas, isn't it? I know. How about Iraq again? And how about Mitt again? Look out, Hillary, because we have a giant squirrel.
Did they just have a squirrel costume lying around and said, we need something to do with this? Hey, let's go after Hillary with it.
I think there's clearly someone from the DNC is working for them. So whoever sold this idea, right. All right. Love letter, first of all. Sue writes, Mama, a caller asked, what's a mook? We get that every now and again. I've often wanted to say I Googled it. It's what popped up in Urban Dictionary, coined in the Scorsese film Mean Streets.
Okay.
Meaning hole or loser. I'm not paying because this guy's a mook. Okay. All the mooks are adorable and certainly not arses. Let's redefine mooks. Mama's outspoken, outrageous sidekicks. I financially support and watch you, Sexy Moose, Hot Travis, Hunk of Burning Love Jim on Free Speech TV. Aww. Thank you.
And now Nate.
Right, Nathan over there.
Yeah.
The new Darren. I loved you in Seattle. Our VIP photo is still and forever up in my iPhone. Aw, Seattle sexy liberal. Yay. I tune in to Free Speech TV every morning to see what you and Chris are wearing. A listener sent me my tweet shirt. Thank you.
And I have Spider-Man arm wrestling Venom.
Okay. Then I listened to the full podcast after coaching the local girls' high school tennis team. I'd like to be the official Stephanie Miller High School tennis coach. There you go. You make me laugh, you make me smarter. Coach Sue. Thank you, Coach.
All right.
Well, the RNC squirrel, now that's going to make you smarter. That is... This is a party out of ideas. It really is out of ideas. GOP introduces giant squirrel to mock Hillary Clinton. She's laughing yet another pantsuit off. Every time Chris Christie has a press conference, every time Brian Priebus does something new. The RNC has a new weapon in its ongoing effort to derail Hillary Clinton's road to the White House, a giant squirrel. I am not with you people. I really am not. So
Is it this kind of squirrel?
After you. Oh, no. You first. Thank you.
No, it's not a polite squirrel. It's a Hillary-hating squirrel.
Oh.
Here are the fun facts about it's the HRC squirrel. Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Oh.
Right. The HRC squirrel mascot.
Your dog just burped.
I smell Victor the Victory Elephant. Remember when we bought one half price and the convention was over in Minneapolis?
Yes.
That was sad. They were all in that little bin. Just
in the bargain bin.
I'm a dying party. With dying ideas. Please buy me.
And there was no Victory that year.
Half off, like 50% off. Who even wants one? How'd that go, by the way? That victorious victory. That Victor was so excited and was trumpeting about.
Yep.
Okay, the HRC squirrel mascot, which the RNC unveiled late last week, oh boy, that had to be a day of excitement around Reince Priebus' world, is determined to let Americans know that another Clinton in the White House would be nuts.
Oh, really?
Oh my
That's
God.
the connection?
That's, what, are there comedy writers 8? According to the
You're
RNC,
assuming they have comedy writers. I think Reince
I
Priebus
guess.
just pulled that from his ass.
I don't know. Here's what we'll say. You'd be nuts. Get it? Because of squirrel. Oh, my God. According to the press release, the squirrel recognizes the dangers of a Hillary Clinton presidency and will continue to dig up her record. See, because it's a squirrel. And no matter how hard the liberal media tries to bury it, it even has a Twitter account. Squirrel does. Of course it does. HRC Squirrel. That has gathered more than 1,000 followers. Yikes.
Gathered that many.
That's about how many votes they're going to get, I think, against Hillary. Find me where the nuts are, the squirrel's Twitter bio reads. Right now, that's the fiction aisle with anyone who believes Hillary Clinton's spin. Squirrel's good. We should have asked Carol Leifer if the squirrel can open it for her.
Yeah, because it's so funny.
The squirrel tweeted, at Hillary Clinton is trying to hide her record on hashtag Benghazi the way I hide acorns. Oh, really?
My God.
Really? This is the level of political debate. The Spot, starring the squirrel and RNC chairman Reince Priebus. Oh, we'll see now they brought in the star power. It's not like it's just the squirrel. Shows the squirrel at a desk in the RNC headquarters reacting to Clinton's much-discussed comments claiming that the former First Family was broke when the Clintons left the White House.
Okay.
In recent days, Hillary Clinton has revealed just how out of touch she is, Priebus said. As we continue to expose her failed record and bad choices, Democrats will start to worry whether it was wrong to put all their acorns in one basket for 2016. It's another squirrel joke with an acorn in the basket. He said recently on Meet the Press, I actually doubt very much whether she will actually run for president in 2016. All right, you go with that, Reince. That made you feel better and be able to go sleepy time at night. You go.
He's a silly little man.
Why would you? Well, then why the giant squirrel if she's not running? Well, that'll probably scare her off. She was going to run, but now she's like, Bill, hold me. Spoon me this giant cartoon squirrel on TV.
I'll bet you some low-level RNC staffer was going through some costume warehouse one day, saw that squirrel costume, and said, hey!
Wait for it. According to the RNC, the squirrel will make more public appearances in the coming days. Oh, my God.
Be still my heart.
Oh, my God. Well, that just changed the whole political debate in America now. Okay. You got us into Iraq. Don't look at that now. We've got a giant talking squirrel. Okay, so the Iraq debate continues to make my head explode. I don't know about you. Charlie Pierce, of course, wrote some great stuff about the Sunday shows because you're just like, oh my God,
in
really?
his usual Gobshites column.
Right.
Yes.
Right. I mean, he made a great point. This is what I was saying. It's not just that they had the Wolfowitzes and the, Senator Butch Me Up and whoever, all the original cheerleaders for the Iraq War. They didn't have one person who was originally against the cluster, as Charlie says.
Barbara Lee.
They didn't have one person that was right.
Right.
Aye. All right.
Does Barbara Lee say no? Why don't they ever book her?
I wonder why. Because she was right about it.
Exactly.
Anyway, wow. I was reading a piece in the Daily Beast, among others, and speaking of cluster, wow, now it is really, U.S. doesn't know who to hit in Iraq should it be necessary. This is just, it is mind-boggling. Suddenly, now you'd like to work with Iran?
Now a warning?
Someone tweeted me yesterday, has anyone told John McCain that he's now on Iran's side? What? Huh? We posted this yesterday on our Facebook, and it is scorching, it is searing, but I'm sure it speaks. Because I was saying, as mad as we all are, you can imagine people that would serve there or lost people there. And this guy, Jim Wright, he posted this. He served in Iraq. Absolutely nothing. A veteran's savage indictment of the Iraq War. And he was talking about Mitt Romney, among others, talking about what we won in Iraq. Anyway, I just got to read this last part because it said, you sons of bitches, one and all, you simpering, capering madmen, this time at least have the courage to face the camera, to look into America's eyes and tell them their sons and daughters will be dying because you, John McCain, because you, Mitt Romney, because you, Dick Cheney, because you, Donald Rumsfeld, because you, George W. Bush, you lying bastard, because you conservatives hate Barack Obama and for no other reason. Go on, tell us, go on, wave your little flags and beat your fleshy chests, roll out the marching bands and tell us how many more American soldiers should die. Go on, put a number on it. 10? 100? 54,000? How many of us have to die? How many more bodies will it take to satiate your mindless hunger for blood and revenge? How many more American lives are worth your insane hatred of the president? How many? How much further into debt should we drive our nation? Another $1 trillion? 2, 10, 100? Put a price on it, you insane sons of bitches. Go on. Write me a number. Give me a number. Write me a check. Tell me how much you're going to pay. Show me the damn money.
Oh.
How many more years? How many? 1, 5, another decade, 50? What is it? Don't wave your hands and make some vague prognostication. Give me a number. How many lives? How much money? How many years? You look us in the eye and you Tell us.
Oh, dear.
I'll tell you what, let's go back to Iraq. Just so long as Donald Rumsfeld, Dick Cheney, George W. Bush, Rush Limbaugh, Ann Coulter, Glenn Beck, Michael Savage, Paul Ryan, Sarah Palin, Rick Perry, every single one of those powdered Botox talking heads at Fox News are in the vanguard. That's right, you cowards. You put on a uniform and you lead the charge this time around. The Koch brothers and Mitt Romney can pay for it. You got rich off the last one. You damn well pay for this one. Strap John McCain into the cockpit of an A-4 Skyhawk and let him fly air cover. If he gets shot down and taken prisoner again, well, you know what? Him. Leave him to the enemy, because frankly, his hate and bile and raging insanity have done more damage to this country than Bo Bergdahl ever did. Thank you, Jim Wright.
That was great.
Said with the passion and the anger that only someone that had actual skin in the game.
Right.
Anyway, because we were talking about the memories as you saw.
The Iraqi regime continues to possess and conceal some of the most lethal weapons ever devised.
Active chemical munitions bunkers, mobile production facilities.
Thanks for the memories.
Saddam Hussein has gone to elaborate lengths, spent enormous sums, taken great risks to build and keep weapons of mass destruction.
Saddam Hussein is determined to get his hands on a nuclear bomb.
Thanks for the memories.
It is only a matter of time before terrorist states armed with weapons of mass destruction develop the capability to deliver those weapons to U.S. cities.
Bills we never paid. How lovely it was.
Terrorists are doing everything they can to gain even deadlier means of striking us.
We're parted by only a slight thing.
We know he's got chemical weapons.
I wonder if we did the right thing. Thank you. Thank you so much.
See, I told you all the hard work you put into that would be worth it. We'd use it again.
10 years later.
God. Not a laughing matter. Sometimes
No.
you got to laugh so you don't cry all day. 18 minutes after the hour. This hour of the Stephanie Miller Show brought to you by Carbonite. You know, not all clouds are created equal. You know you need to back everything up there in that there cloud. I didn't even know what it was when I first heard it. All I know is everything I have in my computer is safe. Carbonite Cloud Backup, we have it here for everything. All our sound bites, our guest contact lists. I have it for my music, my pictures. People send me old pictures from the 64 campaign when I was just a hairy little tot. Carbonite is the I couldn't get those back. Carbonite, the comprehensive solution for backing up all your important files. It backs everything up to the cloud automatically whenever you're connected to the internet. That's my favorite part of it. You don't have to remember to do anything, whether you're backing up one computer at home or all the computers and servers at your small business. Carbonite does it all. It's such an affordable price, you won't believe it. It's secure, easy to set up, restores everything so quickly. You need to Carbonite now. Do it now. Yeah. Don't wait. Go to Carbonite.com today. Type in my offer code Stephanie. You get a free trial, no credit card required, plus 2 free bonus months with your subscription. Carbonite.com. Offer code is Stephanie. 19 minutes after the hour. We roll along on the Stephanie Miller Show.
Call Stephanie Miller.
Oh, you just did. You got a weird look on your face.
Yeah,
okay.
I know.
Okay. Some people think it's hot.
No.
24 minutes.
Thinking more about the animals strike curious poses.
Right.
It's like, what is that?
24 minutes after the hour. Listen, Jim is going to call Fred a man whore when he gets here the third hour, because he is stuck to Nathan like glue. Man whore. Oh, you know the difference between the men's. Okay.
I just want a petty man.
Yeah. John in L.A., you're on the Stephanie Miller Show. Hey, John.
You know, what's interesting is that when you hear what people have said in the past and how now their words come back and are used in other people's favor, you could make a case for what you guys said about Hillary in the 2008 run-up to in the primary to make a very effective case for why Hillary shouldn't run again this time.
Oh, I see. Right. Because she was shown the same cherry-picked and twisted intelligence. Right. So it's Hillary's fault we went to Iraq.
She was
solely.
No, just your words, not what you hear from the right wing. What you heard from the left wing during the 08 primary.
Right.
I think those words could come back and be used.
We didn't say anything bad about Hillary.
Right.
To you.
We didn't say anything bad about Hillary.
Right. The reason that I clearly one of the big reasons that Obama won the primary is because of his stance against the Iraq War, which was correct.
Well, maybe not, because
maybe not.
Today.
No, I think maybe
he's sending troops in, right?
He's sending 100 to guard the embassy or something.
275, but as long as there's boots on the ground, what happens if...
So you're saying it's really more President Obama and Hillary's fault about Iraq. It's not any of those people we played in the soundbite in the Bush.
I'm saying that it's interesting that you blame everybody who's not in power, but the president...
Who's not in power? They were when we got in.
Exactly. They're the ones who got us in this mess that we're trying so carefully to get out of.
Well, but let me ask, what is the Obama doctrine? I mean, what is his foreign policy?
Whatever it is, it's better than the Bush doctrine, isn't it? How's the Bush doctrine worked out?
34% that support. Are you in the 34%? Obviously,
of what?
34% of people that think he's doing a good job in foreign policy. Because a vast majority.
Oh, I see. So I must be completely wrong if I think. I mean, honestly, are you comparing it to George Bush's foreign policy, which is still a rolling disaster?
At least we knew what his foreign policy was.
Oh, so it's better.
Every time something.
It's a disaster, but at least we knew it was a disaster, so that makes it better somehow.
No, at least he sticks. Every time a disaster happens, the president goes and raises money on the West Coast.
Oh, and George W. Bush didn't? Holy crap, did you see the crap I got from him every time a disaster happened?
September 12th.
I guess you didn't get the picture I did of him on the plane flying away from the danger and after 9/11 asking me for money. I got that. Did you get that?
Yeah, on 9/12.
All right, shit. Sorry. I'm just not in the mood for him this morning. Because they're always talking over guys.
Yeah. Bush's foreign policy was a complete and total crap fest that we are trying to entangle ourselves from.
By the way, that was the most insanely idiotic I think I've ever heard, because he said...
What you just said
yes.
is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Mm-hmm. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
At least we knew what George W. Bush's policy was. Hitler was pretty clear about his foreign policy, too.
Yeah.
At least you could identify it. So there. Ha ha.
Oh, by the way,
yes,
I was correct. That squirrel costume was left over from an anti-acorn campaign.
Oh, so, the RNC is reduced to using used costumes from another issue. Trying to take down Hillary.
Yes,
By the way, how pathetic was that? Well, it was really more Hillary's fault than George W. Bush. How come you're blaming the people that aren't? Once again, now that I'm already down the Hitler rat hole because it's Jim Day, what? Hitler's not in power anymore. That doesn't mean
he's blaming Hitler.
Responsible for World War. Okay, where was I?
Boy.
Okay. Mark, it's going to be one of those kind of days. Here we go. Mark in Minnesota, you're on the Stephanie Miller Show. Hello, Mark.
Hey, Mama.
Hey, baby.
Mark, the official idea guy of the Stephanie Miller Show.
Oh, we needed one.
Hello.
Oh, God.
I loved meeting you in Minneapolis, by the way.
Thank you. Me too, you.
Listen, John Kerry going to Iran is ingenious. Because think about it, if 3 months ago or 4 months ago, John Kerry had announced, hey, I'm going to go to Iran and have some talks with him, the right wing would have exploded.
Oh, my God. Lindsey Graham would have vapored into a fine stream, a liquefied stream.
I mean, he doesn't have to just talk to them about Iraq. He can talk to them about anything now. And they can't do anything about it.
Exactly. You suggested it.
Yeah.
Why, after you? We have our own polite squirrels. Why? No. I'd be happy to go talk to Iran. All right. We got to talk about what's happening there and what our options are, because it is. That's why I couldn't be president, because I would drink
lots,
cry, quit.
Yep.
Okay. 29 minutes after the hour.
Take a nap.
Yeah, there'd be a nap in there somewhere too. Right back on the Stephanie Miller Show.
Question number 1.
Stephanie Miller.
Have you ever gone a day without wearing underwear? I'm so sorry. I'm better than this.
No, it's frequently. I think you should just play that Cher song every morning, because it's Groundhog Day. We're going to talk to the same right-wing dip we had to talk to in the whole run-up to Iraq. That guy just called.
The Sonny and Cher
annoying
song?
talkie over guy.
Yeah.
We'll get you into the 34%. The things Obama's foreign policy. No, I tell you what, though, I'm one of the 100% that thinks George W. Bush's foreign policy was a rolling disaster. It still is. And Iraq is a disaster. But we don't even know what Obama's policy is. At least we know what George W. Sorry, was that me? That's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
The Obama doctrine is to not get us into any unnecessary wars.
Yes, it was bold. George W. Bush was born. You're right. You could tell what it was. It was bold and really awful. Okay. So here's what we have now. Daily Beast piece. The U.S. doesn't know who to hit in Iraq. This is really, this was what the word cluster was invented for.
Probably.
The U.S. military has the capability to conduct airstrike over Iraq within hours. The problem is they don't know exactly who they are supposed to be targeting. The CIA and the Pentagon not certain who exactly makes up the forces that have taken up so much of Iraq. Moreover, these intelligence and defense officials say they believe some of the people fighting with the Islamic State of Iraq, ISIS, that everybody's talking about, are former U.S. allies who could be turned against the hardcore fanatics if they can be identified. We don't have Adam Schiff, our buddy, the congressman from right over there. His district is there.
Right here.
I could actually touch it. He said, we don't have boots on the ground providing intelligence, and we don't have confidence in information the Iraqi government provides because they've been so heavy-handed in the use of force against Sunni villages. Who could have seen this coming, I wonder? This whole, disrupting hundreds of years of this Sunni-Shia conflict. Who could have ever seen that? Oh, I know. Lots of us. While ISIS is taking over cities like Mosul and Tikrit, a strike on ISIS wouldn't be as simple as, say, attacking one of Saddam's tank columns during the last Iraq war. It requires a different kind of intelligence. A drone strike would be the last piece in a long process to identify, locate, and verify where an individual target resides, but it still requires the basic tradecraft of human spying. What a mess. The DIA director said most Iraqi Sunnis probably remain opposed to AQI's ideology and presence in Iraq and Syria. Some Sunni tribes and insurgent groups appear willing to work tactically with AQI as they share common anti-government goals. I haven't even gotten to the Kurds yet. Everybody just stay put. Because of what Flynn describes as Baghdad's refusal to address long-standing Sunni grievances and continued heavy-handed approach to counter-terror operations. Complicating the task is that ISIS has taken refuge in urban areas, of course, making strikes against them without striking civilians nearly impossible. Determining the enemy's identity is the key to figuring out what legal authority the White House could use to target Iraq's enemies. I mean, what a mess. Yep. It's like I was saying, Richard Clark was saying, who, by the way, I listened to because he was right about everything. It's like, who are we bombing? Who are we bombing? Al-Qaeda? Iran?
Nobody knows.
Yeah. John Kerry, by the way, Secretary of State. So this is, we now have come, we're just, crazy train has gone magical full circle. So now we're talking about talking to Iran, our very close person. So see, now we've strengthened because of the Shiite. Okay, here he is.
We're open to discussions if there's something constructive that can be contributed by Iran, if Iran is prepared to do something that is going to respect the integrity and sovereignty of Iraq and the ability of the government to reform.
And when have we ever not been able to trust Iran?
Why are we even involved over there?
I love Iranian officials. U.S. needs to clear up this mess in Iraq. Now look what you've done.
Well, we did break it.
Yes, I know. Yes. Well, when you say we, Kimosabe.
Well, as a country.
As the United States considers working with geopolitical foe Iran to quell insurgent violence in Iraq, Iranian officials gave conflicting statements. How about that? Depends on which Iranian you talk to. About the willingness of the country to participate with the U.S., with one official saying the U.S. had to clear up its mess in Iraq or risk losing Mideast's credibility. Oh, now a warning? Now a warning about the U.S.
Now a warning?
Okay. Right, because the Iraq War in the first place didn't do anything to affect our credibility in the... One senior Iranian official said the U.S. has no choice but to clear up this mess in Iraq. Otherwise, its achievements and credibility in the region will be gone. Oh, that would be bad if we were somehow to have a bad reputation. The U.S. should remove this infection. He refers, of course, to the Sunni insurgents from the region. Okay, great. We'll just airlift them all out. Another official called the prospect of this meeting of enemies totally unreal. Meanwhile, the Iranian prime minister intimated a willingness to cooperate with the U.S., though stopped short of offering ground troops. The majority Shia Iran has brief common cause with the U.S. against the Sunni insurgents who comprise ISIS, the Islamic militant group that seized control of several major Iraqi cities last week. Prime Minister of Iraq is accused by ISIS of shutting out Sunnis out of recent elections. What a
mess. What a dump.
What? Betty Davis for her, she'd say, what a dump. Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Night.
Ride, something, all of it.
It's night.
What? Good God, I'm doing Betty Davis. Yeah. Ah! Okay. Hello, Brian in Michigan.
Hey, Seth, Chris, good morning.
Good morning.
Hiya.
I have a request for you. Next time one of these right-wing tools calls in and says, you can't blame Bush because Obama's in charge now of what's going on in Iraq, ask them, were they the same people who blamed Clinton for 9/11 because they didn't get Osama bin Laden?
Yes, they are. They, with a straight face, said this was actually Clinton's failure.
Make sure to ask him that, because they probably won't have a snappy answer for that one, probably.
Well, as you know, George Bush was too busy dealing with the Clinton-Gore recession.
Yes.
As many on the right wing would like to call it, right? Mm-hmm. You remember that. Okay. Sue in Rockville, you're on the Stephanie Miller Show. Hi, Sue.
Hi. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Like the previous call, I do have some advice for you guys.
Okay. All right.
10 years later, I can no longer listen to these people. When they call you, you simply say to them, if you support more war, you must enlist or put your kid in. And if you don't put yourself or put skin in this game, then you need to play the Diane Wiest bit, don't speak from Blitz Over Broadway, and just play it over and over as they try to talk over you.
Yeah.
Because they have no credibility and they're not allowed to speak anymore. They're simply not allowed. Whether the horrors of corporate media allow them or not does not give you don't have to do
That's
it
right.
anymore.
That's right. Exactly.
You can be tough and just play that clip over and over and over.
No, don't speak.
Right.
Don't speak. Don't speak. No. Silence. Don't speak.
And as you know, I invite dissent here, Sue. In fact, you go to the front of the line. However, you need to shut your pie hole and have a conversation. Right.
You can have the only conversation you can have. When people try to say that because Hillary said this and now she feels that it somehow impeaches her, people seem to forget that during World War II, FDR had to make some really tough choices. And as a child of Holocaust survivors, let me just say the fact that they didn't bomb the railroad tracks, etc. I could sit there and tell you all the horrible things FDR was because of what he didn't do. But you know what? As a Democrat and as someone who looks at the greater good for everybody, not just me, I look at the fact of all the fabulous things he did both socially and for this country and did win the war for, we got out of the war.
Yeah.
So I prefer, this kind of narrow focus is really like, saying, this is the one thing.
And it is pathetic in a way. It's like this whole debate, Carol Leifer was talking about Hillary Clinton, being for marriage. So what? She's evolved like a lot of other people to try to, what they're trying to do is both sides are the same. No, they're not.
Right.
The president is going to have to sign an executive order, on gay and lesbian rights and, the right not to be fired. Mm-hmm. Because the not go both sides, because the Republicans in the House won't pass it, right, Sue?
And even if they had something valid to say, if there was a valid argument, but they have destroyed any of that because all of us here, with the exception of my bar babies, were here 10 years ago.
Right. Well, I mean, and you've got, that's the thing, you've got not just the whole Congress that still won't make it, that makes it okay to fire gay people. You've got Rick Perry saying, I believe the science on gay conversion therapy, which not one reputable psychiatrist would.
They are on the losing side of equality. They are on the losing side of America. They are anti-American. They are not patriots. And they are domestic terrorists as far as I'm concerned, because all they want to do is destroy this country because they hate the black man.
Sue, as my mother would say, you've gotten so radical.
Thank you.
Steffi. All right, thank you. Goodbye. That's a compliment.
Yeah.
Oh, Steffi. You remember. See, now I'm having all the flashbacks. You remember my mom? My 91-year-old Republican mom. This is how much I love my mommy.
Okay.
My Fox News watching 91-year-old Republican mom, when George Bush left office, she wrote him a very long handwritten letter about how he was the best president ever. And she had to read the whole thing to me. And I listened because I love my mom.
9 pages, single spaced?
Steffi. She always does that. She reads all kinds of stuff to me, letters she wrote to whoever or whatever. I'm like, yes, Mom, wow. Oh, that was nice of you. I'd love to hear that. And meanwhile, not a hair left in my head. Blink, blink, just one by one. I just tweezed each hair out one by one. And then I was like, there was a pause after. I was like, All right. Well, that was very nice of you. I think he's kind of a war criminal. And she said, oh, Stephanie, you got so radical. Okay.
And she's not radical for supporting George Bush at all.
No, he's the best president.
Okay. Yeah.
I told her the story about we were we went to the inauguration of Obama.
Right.
And we saw the helicopter taking George W. Bush.
Uh-huh.
That everybody was cheering or flipping him off.
Sure.
And she said, oh, dear, rude. All right, Ken, like the Iraq War wasn't rude.
Right.
Okay, Ken in North Carolina, you're on the Stephanie Miller Show. Hi, Ken.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You know, if we, along with the dumbing down of America, we become humanitarian war fighters. If we had fought the original Iraq War, Desert Storm, like we fought World War II, we would not have a problem in the Middle East whatsoever. For some reason, all of a sudden we're concerned.
So it's still a Bush's fault, but George H.W. Bush is what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, we've become a nation of, and even Russia has gotten into this mode too,
Right, but how would it have been any different if we had taken Saddam out then?
Well, not Saddam. If you compare, if we fought World War II, like we fought Iraq, we'd all be goose-stepping and Heil Hitler. Because we dropped 2 atomic bombs on non-military targets. We weren't concerned that they were all civilians. Why all of a sudden in Iraq? Well, we were.
We care too much about civilian casualties now. Okay. All right, well, we could have landed in Normandy again, but it would have been the wrong location.
And that was a huge debate within the administration whether to drop the bomb on on civilian targets.
Right. I don't think anyone said we don't.
No.
Okay. All right. Wow, this debate's going to get weird again. 46 minutes after the hour.
Which is going to make for a weird show. You can't tune away now.
46 minutes after the hour. Right back on the Stephanie Miller Show. Shimon. Charlie Pierce coming up next hour. Voice Deity, Jim Ward. In hour number 3. Yay! Daddy's coming home. 1-800-STEPH-12 to phone number. You know how I have an insomnia problem? What? I'm still going to be arguing with that right-wing dipwad that called in the middle of the night tonight.
Are you really?
Yeah. Don't you love me? He's like, Obama's sending in troops. It's like, right, the 100 troops to guard the embassy because if something happened to this embassy, gee, I wonder who would get blamed. I wonder who would it be the black guy? Like that's the same thing.
Yeah. Well,
because George Bush ordering the initial shakana. Boom. Check it out.
Yeah, sending in just under 300 troops is quite different than...
Yeah, Chris, I don't know about this. We played John Kerry talking about cooperating with Iran. This is like, it really is a cluster of epic proportions at this point. That's what I was, discussing all the problems with figuring out, who you bomb where. It's Kerry said he is open to discussions with Tehran if the Iranians can help end the violence and restore confidence. Sure. Because they've talked about the possibility of airstrikes. Yeah. He said they're not the whole answer, but they may be one of the options that are important to be able to stem the tide and stop the movement of the people. But again, we were saying, here you go with the same problem. And a lot of it, everybody talking about, if the president did the right thing in Syria. Charlie Pierce talks about this. Some of the people Lindsey Graham is talking about now as being our enemy, they were the people he wanted Obama to arm.
Right.
In Syria. So, the people that are like, he screwed that whole thing up. This is complicated stuff, and it is a mess. John Kerry yesterday. John Kerry, Secretary of State, yesterday.
At this moment, I think we need to go step by step and see what, in fact, might be a reality. But I wouldn't rule out anything that would be constructive to providing real stability.
Really? And then he talked about what else is going on.
When you have people murdering, assassinating in these mass massacres, you have to stop that. And you do what you need to do if you need to try to stop it from the air or otherwise.
Now,
One more, talking about drones.
They're not the whole answer, but they may well be one of the options that are important to be able to stem the tide and stop the movement of people who are moving around in open convoys and trucks and terrorizing people.
Okay, this is how you know the world has completely come full circle. This would be Crazy Uncle Chuckles?
Yep.
Pat Robertson on the 700 Club.
Yep.
Making sense?
Kind of.
Right now, what we did, and it was a great mistake to go in there. You know, I heard this program. The man who wrote a book said he was Saddam's bomb maker, and he said to us and to all of our audience, Saddam doesn't know how to make an atomic bomb. He doesn't know how to do it. And so to sell the American people weapons of mass destruction, he had WMD and was getting yellow cake out of Africa and all. There was a lot of nonsense. And we were sold a bill of goods. We should never have gone into that country.
Oh, my God.
Being said, I still want to say gay people are going to broil in the lake of fire, but I did just want to say what the? Oh, my God. What? Is that the only thing we've ever played Robertson said that makes any sense at all?
I think so.
What the hell is happening? The parallel universe is complete, ladies and gentlemen. And scene. Get the lights. Wow. Christine in Cleveland, you're on the Stephanie Miller Show. Hello, Christine.
Good morning.
Good morning.
OMSG.
Right.
With
LMAO.
and stuff.
Go ahead.
What? Was that the same Pat Robertson that we all know and hate?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. I don't know. Just whatever's going on in this world today with the issue in, the Mideast, and with whatever the president will or will not do, all I know is that I have a friend that has 3 military men in the military that were supposed to be stationed permanently for the next 2 to 3 years stateside with their 2 military wives.
Right.
She has 5 people in the military. Well, that can all change.
Yeah.
Because now they're moving, and now they've moved, cross country, wherever. We won't say where they're gone, but they're going to be stateside for 2 to 3 years minimally. Well, now that they've moved, and now that all this stuff is going on in the Mideast, that is tentative. It'd be like, well, you could get on another tour.
This is insane, isn't it? It's like a bad acid flashback. It really is.
Well, yeah, because the president is, drew to a close the Iraqi situation. He's trying to close the Afghani situation, and they are placing our military in permanent posts throughout the United States. And now those permanent posts have become. You might have to do another.
And
tour,
Christine, if I have to hear John McCain one more time refer to anything about Iraq as a victory, George, Barack Obama has ruined George Bush's glorious victory when we were winning. How is there any victory or winning in a completely illegal and unnecessary war based on lies? How would that ever have been a win?
I totally agree with you. And you know what really kind of freaks me out about U.S. military? I think the majority of them vote Republican because they want to back, I don't know. They're obviously, not voting to back the present U.S. president, but there's many military men and women that vote Republican.
Yeah,
and I don't get that. Do you get that?
I don't, and I sure hope they're rethinking that at this point. If like you're saying, friends, that's why we posted this thing on Facebook, The Soldier. I mean, that is the kind of, but you know what I mean? It's the kind of raw anger and passion that I think is necessary right now. Let's do a quick one before the break here. Arthur in Canada, you're on the Stephanie Miller Show. Hello, Arthur.
Hi, Stephanie. I'm going to try to do this really quickly. I'm a retired Canadian naval vet. I spent 23 years in the Canadian Navy. And, but there's so many things I can comment about. All I'm going to say is all these guys that you've had phoning in saying that all you have to do is go to war and fight more and you're going to win. This 23-year vet says those guys are delusional. You and your colleague there in the studio got it right. And just keep up that fight. You guys are 100% right.
Thank you. Someone from Canada saying, indeed,